Sharks and Squids Charades is your classic game of charades with a twist. Rather than having students act out random scenes, they're going to demonstrate different characteristics of sharks and squids using their actor tools. Charades is a fun game during which students can utilize not just the theater tools and strategies they've learned throughout their theater integrated lessons, but it's also a fun game to use as a review of the content they've learned throughout this unit. You can use charades for any unit or lesson plan throughout the year, or even as a fun brain break if needed. For this activity, students will use their Sharks and Squids graphic organizer to gather at least 2 ideas from the text explaining why it's important to study sharks or squids. Students choose one of their facts to act out silently for their peers. The rest of the class must guess what piece of text evidence the student is referring to and which animal it connects with in their charade performance. As the game continues, students must gather additional information shared by their peers on the graphic organizer to prepare for writing. First, review with your students the information that they've learned about sharks and squids. Have your students work independently or in pairs to complete graphic organizers with facts about sharks and squids from the module texts Shark Attack and Giant Squid Searching for a Sea Monster. Have students cut out their graphic organizer segments to create separate fact cards. Once the fact cards are complete, you can choose to gather all of them into a bucket or have your students keep their fact cards to themselves. We recommend allowing them to keep their fact cards since at this age, students' handwriting might be difficult to read. Your students may have an easier time deciphering their own handwriting as opposed to someone else's. If students keep their own fact cards, instruct them to keep their cards face down on their desks to avoid their teammates reading their facts. Now create teams. Split students into teams for gameplay. You may wish to divide the class in half or create smaller teams. Then, have the teams select sea creature themed names. Now explain the game. Members of each team will take turns acting out the facts on their fact card. Give your students 60 seconds to act out their fact and for their team to guess the characteristic they're acting out and which animal possesses those traits. Is it a shark, a squid, or both? For each correctly guessed characteristics, students will be awarded 1 point. If they're able to name which animal has that characteristic, the team can be awarded a 2nd point. For this activity, encourage all of your students to act a fact, but lean away from requiring that they do. Make it an invitation rather than a mandate to act. Remember that not all of your students may feel comfortable performing in front of their peers, or they might not know how to act out the character trait that they wrote down. Or maybe they're just not having a good day and are in a negative headspace. That's okay. There are plenty of other theater integrated activities that they can feel comfortable and confident to participate in. If there is a student who does not wish to act, you can give their team an option of electing another member to act out the fact in their stead.